Hi, y'all. I'm back to be glad. Oh, boy, I can't talk, can I? I'm going to say I'm glad to be back with y'all. How have y'all been? Are y'all getting prepared and ready for Thanksgiving? What are y'all all doing for Thanksgiving? Where are you going? What are you eating? Are you cooking? What are you cooking? I have all of my children, unless, something comes up. They are all supposed to be here. So with my children, their spouses, and my grandchildren, plus myself, that's 24 people. So I am cooking a lot. I am really cooking a lot. But I tell you what, I'm so aggravated. I went and got a turkey. Of course, I have a ham, and I went and got a turkey. And I got the turkey for only 49 cents at Ruler Foods, which is, if you don't have one, it's kind of, to me, I call it a knockoff Kroger store. I got that turkey, a 20-pound turkey, put it in my upright freezer. And a few days later, I guess this was Friday evening, I went in there and my freezer, I had put some ice packs in there Friday evening, actually. And I went in there Saturday night, Sunday morning, and my freezer was open about that much. And the front part of that turkey had thawed out. The back part was still okay, but I'm not going to trust turkey. I won't. I know some people do, but I just will not thaw it out on the counter. My husband and I both have been sick before after eating somewhere where the turkey had been thawed out on the counter, and I just won't do that. And so I'm like, I've got to get rid of that turkey because I don't trust, I don't trust it. And so now I have to go buy another one. But thank the good Lord that I have enough money. I can buy one. If I didn't, my children would, get it. That wouldn't be a problem at all. Because, this time of year, there's some people that they can't afford that. They can't afford, hamburger. Hamburger's so expensive, so I don't know if that's a good comparison. Turkey's a lot cheaper than hamburger. But, they may only have beans for Thanksgiving. And we need to keep those people in our prayers. And if we know ways we can help people, if you have a blessing box in your town, go through your pantry and see what you don't need and maybe put those items in there. So we're going to get started. We will be doing the sweet potatoes with marshmallows on them today. Now, I'm just using sweet potatoes out of a can. Sweet potatoes, yams, whatever people want to call them, but they're technically sweet potatoes. The way I understand it, yam is a completely different vegetable, similar to the sweet potato, yet different. But so that's what we're going to do today. The can, I have made them plenty of times, fresh from regular sweet potatoes. But I tell you what, my hands just do not like cutting the sweet potatoes up anymore. They are hard, and I know you can put them in the oven and roast them, but that seems to have a little bit of a different flavor. So I just go with the canned ones, and some people may say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Hey, they're just as good. They're not quite as fresh. Fresh is always better, but they're still good. And, to feed us, it takes a lot of sweet potatoes if you use fresh. Either way you use them, it takes a lot, but I know because when my husband was on dialysis and he could not eat potatoes unless they had been soaked for a few hours, drained, and soaked in water again for a few hours and drained. And plus, when you cut the potatoes up, they have to be very, very small. So believe me, when he is on dialysis, I cut all of those sweet potatoes by hand. So let's go ahead and I'll bring you down and we'll get started, okay? All right. So let's see. Like I said, I am doing a small batch. So depending on how many people you're going to feed, you run a larger batch. This can says this feeds 3 people. So this is probably going to be I'd say 4 servings by the time you put the other stuff in it. 3 to 4, say 3 to 4 servings, depending on how much people eat. So I did drain the juice, and this is a 15-ounce can. Let me get that one out. It's not what would come out. Oh, I forgot my bag. You know, I always tell you I keep one of those shopping bags close by, hanging on something when I'm cooking, so I put my trash in it, but I forgot to get that. All right, and then to this, we want to add, I prefer, oh, you can't see that, can you? This is a different thing to have the camera on, and it's just a little bit set up, it's a little bit different, and I was holding it way up high. This is nutmeg. I preferred mace, M-A-C-E, but I'm out of it, so I am going to have to buy some, but they are in the same family. I just like mace better, okay? So, let me see if I can bring you up a little, see if you can maybe see better. Hold on. All right. Like I said, this is a new setup I have there, and plus it likes to vibrate when, I'll just use this spoon. No, I won't, because I don't want to dip that into my, my sour cream. So, oh, I don't need this much, this tablespoon measure. I only need a little bit, so I am going to just put some in my hand, and I'm going to pinch it. You will do this to taste, to flavor, your preference. You don't have to use nutmeg. You could use cinnamon, but I just like the mace, actually, but I have used nutmeg plenty of times. Before I ever knew about mace, I did use nutmeg. Let me see a masher here. You know what? I'm not worried about a masher because I'm going to use my, can't think today, my mixer. All right, there I go, my mixer. We want in a little bit of butter. And now, like I said, I can't tell you how much I put in. Like I said, that was just a pinch or so in there. This butter, I'm used to making a much larger batch of this. So this is this small batch. So I am going to put in about a teaspoon or so of butter. That's about all the butter I am going to put in for now. Okay, then we want some sour cream. Okay, and you'll say sour cream. Why sour cream? Well, let me tell you. The first year that my husband and I were married, we were in Germany, and a tad more. I'd say that's maybe a half of a teaspoon or so. It's about like what that was. But the first year we were married, I had this Betty Crocker cookbook that had been published, and it was a paperback one, kind of fat, and I have to stop a minute because I can't work and talk all the same time all the time. Anyway, so I got that and decided to make this. A friend that he worked with in his unit there in the Army had invited us to his and his wife's house for Thanksgiving, and we were newly married. And so I thought, well, I'll try making some sweet potatoes. And I guess I'd never seen my mother make them, and I know she did, but I guess I'd never seen. But anyway, so I thought, well, I'm going to try these. So I cooked them, and that recipe had sour cream in them. And they tasted so good. My husband, he said, whatever you did, do them like that all the time. And I said, well, I think it's sour cream. So next time I made them, I left the sour cream out to sea. And sure enough, didn't taste as good. So start using the sour cream. Okay, what I am going to do to this is I am going to mix it up, and then this cup holds about 6 ounces of the juice, and to get them to the consistency that I want, kind of like mashed potatoes, I will use some of this juice in them. All right. Oh, I forgot the stuff that makes them really good, and that's the brown sugar. We have to have brown sugar, don't we? Let me get a spoon for that. I'm forgetting all my spoons today. Let me see. That may be too much. Okay, I am going to say that's about a tablespoon or two. And again, it has to be to your liking. So I am going to turn this on. I will pause you while I do it. And like I said, I will drizzle some in here as I go. And this holds 6 ounces. So I'm saying that's about 4 ounces in there. I'm not positive though. All right, so I finished them. I did add another little pinch of the nutmeg. So this is what it looks like I said, kind of like mashed potatoes. And you know, it's up to you how loose you want them, how wet you want them, whatever you want to call it. I don't want mine soupy. So, you know, this is the way I've just, since I started making them, about the way I've done it. So just put them in a casserole dish. I probably could have got by with a smaller dish. Back. Let me come right back and put these in a smaller dish because this is just going to cover the bottom. Hold on. There you go. And just so y'all kind of for reference, this is how much it made. This dish is 5 by 5 inches. And it is, well, I just knocked my glasses to the ground. Let me pick those up. And it is not quite 2.5 inches tall, and I filled it about 2/3 of the way full, I'd say. Now we just put our mini marshmallows on top. And again, like I said, it is preference, however much of the liquid, you know, drain your liquid. And I used it in the light syrup. I didn't use heavy syrup. If you use heavy syrup, you won't need as much brown sugar unless you like things very, very sweet. And mine was just right for me. Now, Thanksgiving Day, I am going to have it sweeter because they will expect it sweeter. So, you know, you just have to put in a little and do a little taste test, you know, to get it to about where you want it. So we put these in a 350-degree oven until our marshmallows are nice and toasty, and kind of check the middle and make sure that it is, you know, hot, warm, however hot or warm you want it. Now, my husband, he liked it with the marshmallows cooked all the way down where they were, what's that word, obliterated or whatever, I don't know how you say it. But anyway, and just some of the crustiness of the marshmallows left. I, on the other hand, don't like it that way. My kids, when they were little, I don't know now if they're grown, but when they were little, they didn't like it that way either. They wanted to see the marshmallows and, you know, see them stringing. And I cooked them somewhere in between there, I say, not obliterated. I wish I could say that word. But anyway, somebody's going to have, knows me, is going to have to call me, or one of my kids are, and tell me how to say that word. I can see it in a book and read it the correct way. But anyway, anyway, so I cook it somewhere in between where it's not, you know, super gooey, but it's not all the way melted either. All right, so I'm going to pop these in the oven, and it usually takes 30 minutes or so. Again, the time depends on your oven, however many other things you have in your oven, and also how deep it is. So, you know, you just have to keep an eye on it. It usually takes mine about 30 minutes, so we'll be back in a little bit. All right, they are finished, and here we go. Mine, I actually cook mine in my toaster oven, and on that you always have to reduce the heat by 25 degrees. So in there I cook it at 325. You may not in all toaster ovens, but do mine. You can see the top is really crunchy, and then the middle will be gooey if you pull it up. And so let's go to the center. And yes, my hands are clean. And I cooked it just a tad longer than I normally would. Let's see if we can get some of this in there. So actually, yeah, I cooked it because at 30 minutes it didn't look quite right, so I went to 40. And probably because it's doing a smaller dish and it's a little more compact, more in there than normal. But there you go. It's going to taste good. So I just love sweet potatoes. So there, if you have never made these, try them. And again, remember, it's preference, like most cooking. You know, cooking is what your preference is, what it is. So I'm hoping to see you before Thanksgiving, but if something comes up and I don't, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And remember to be thankful. Take time and be thankful, okay? Have a wonderful day.